Welcome to this episode of the story. Have you subscribed yet? Chapter 137, The Mysterious Stone Tablet and Rune Revelations in the Ruins. Sumu and his two companions were surrounded by a group of mysterious spirits. These spirits emanated an eerie yet powerful spiritual aura, their eyes cold and hostile, as if warning Sumu and the others not to approach the central spiritual altar. Sumu quickly observed the characteristics of these spirits, trying to find their weaknesses. Though the spirits took various forms, he noticed a pattern in their spiritual energy flow. Each spirit's core, faintly glowing, was located in its chest. Grandfather, Senior Lin, these spirits' spiritual cores are in their chests. Attacking there might deal them heavy damage, Sumo whispered, secretly gathering the combined power of time-reversing and spatial spiritual energy in his hands. Grandfather and Lin Yuan nodded slightly, having also noticed the key point Sumo mentioned.
Grandfather waved his staff, launching the first attack with Spirit Flame Fury. Surging flames, like a benteng torrent, swept toward the spirits, carrying Grandfather's powerful spiritual will in an attempt to break through their encirclement. Ling Ying, meanwhile, unleashed Spirit Shadow Piercing Sword. His figure instantly turned into a streak of flowing light, darting nimbly through the spirit horde. His spiritual sword repeatedly stabbed at the spirits' chests, each strike precisely hitting their spiritual cores. When struck, the spirits trembled, and their spiritual glow dimmed. Seeing the two launch their attacks, Sumo immediately cast Time Reverse Spatial Prison. Time reversing and spatial spiritual energy intertwined, forming colorful spiritual cages among the spirits, trapping some of them inside. The trapped spirits struggled frantically, but the cages were so powerful that they couldn't break free for the moment. However, these mysterious spirits were no easy foes. They let out sharp hisses, seemingly reaching some form of understanding among themselves. The untrapped spirits quickly gathered, their spiritual energy merging to form a powerful spiritual barrier that blocked Grandfather's flame attack. At the same time, some spirits circled around from the side, launching attacks on Sumu and Ling Yun. Feeling the danger from the side, Sumu quickly turned and cast Time Reverse Spatial Shield. The colorful, glowing shield reappeared, protecting him within. The spirits' attacks continuously slammed into the shield with thudding sounds, yet the shield remained steady. Ling Yun, meanwhile, weaved deftly through the spirit horde, skillfully evading their attacks while constantly seeking opportunities to strike their spiritual cores. His figure moved like a ghost, making it hard for the spirits to track. In the heat of battle, Sumu noticed that despite their strength, the spirits' coordination was not flawless. When they concentrated their attacks, brief gaps appeared in their connections. Grandfather, Senior Lin, attacked the gaps in their formation to break their coordination. Sumu shouted loudly. Grandfather immediately understood. He gathered the spiritual energy at the tip of his staff into a massive spirit explosion impact sphere and shot it toward the gap in the spirit's formation. Ling Yun also quickly adjusted his attack direction, unleashing Spirit Shadow Rending Wave, a powerful spiritual pulse that spread through the gap. With a thunderous boom, the spirits' spiritual connection was successfully broken and their barrier shattered instantly. A gap appeared in their encirclement, and their movements turned chaotic. Sumo seized the opportunity to cast Time Reverse Spatial Storm Blades. Countless blades infused with time-reversing and spatial spiritual energy flew from the storm toward the spirits. The spirits couldn't dodge in time. Many were hit by the blades and dissolved into puffs of spiritual smoke. After a fierce battle, the number of mysterious spirits gradually dwindled. Sumo and his companions seized the chance to launch a full-scale attack, finally eliminating the last spirit. After the battle, Sumo and the others let out a sigh of relief, but they knew dangers lurked everywhere in this ruin. "Let's hurry to check the mysterious artifact on the altar," Sumu said. The three walked toward the spiritual altar. As they drew near, the light on the mysterious artifact grew brighter, as if welcoming their arrival. Sumo examined the artifact closely. It resembled an ancient compass, covered in various mysterious runes. The runes glowed faintly, as if conveying some message. Just as Sumu tried to decipher these runes, the spiritual energy around the altar suddenly surged wildly, and a powerful suction force emanated from the altar, pulling Sumu and his companions toward it. "Oh no!" Sumo shouted, quickly channeling his time-reversing spiritual energy in an attempt to resist the suction. Grandfather and Ling Yun also exerted all their spiritual energy, joining Sumu in resisting. However, the suction was so strong that their resistance seemed feeble. Sumu and his companions were gradually pulled toward the altar. Just as they were about to touch it, Sumu suddenly noticed that the arrangement of runes on the mysterious artifact bore a resemblance to those on the previous mysterious stone tablet. A thought struck Sumu. He concentrated, trying to adjust the flow of his time-reversing spiritual energy according to the revelations from the stone tablet's runes. A miracle happened. The moment he adjusted his time-reversing spiritual energy, the powerful suction suddenly vanished. Sumu and his companions steadied themselves, staring in amazement at the altar and the mysterious artifact. This artifact must be closely connected to the mysterious stone tablet, Lin Yun said. Sumu nodded in agreement, continuing to study the runes on the artifact, hoping to gain more information. After some effort, he finally extracted key insights from the runes. They seemed to guide him in merging time-reversing and spatial spiritual energy in a more complex and sophisticated way. If successful, his control over these two energies would reach a whole new level. Grandfather, Senior Lin, the information from these runes is crucial. It can help me further merge time-reversing and spatial energy. But I need to focus entirely during the process. Please guard me, Sumo said seriously. Grandfather and Lin Yun understood the importance of the moment, nodding without hesitation. They stood beside Sumo, vigilantly watching their surroundings. Sumo took a deep breath, slowly closed his eyes, and began channeling his spiritual energy according to the rune's guidance. Time-reversing energy, like a colorful stream, flowed gently through his meridians, while spatial energy, like a transparent veil, subtly permeated around it. At first, the two energies still pitched each other slightly. Fine sweat beads appeared on Sumu's forehead as he struggled to adjust their rhythm and frequency, trying to make them coexist harmoniously. And Sumu kept trying. The repulsion between time-reversing and spatial energy gradually weakened. They began to intertwine like two agile spirit snakes. Sumu felt a surge of joy and continued to guide their fusion carefully. At that moment, the runes on the mysterious artifact flared up, and a soft light enveloped Sumo, Suhu aiding him in completing the energy fusion. In the light, Sumu felt his understanding of time-reversing and spatial energy deepen. He seemed to be in a mysterious spiritual realm where the laws of time and space intertwined, allowing him to clearly sense the subtle connection between them. Outside, Grandfather and Lin Yun watched Sumo anxiously. They could feel the spiritual energy around him surging stronger, and a mysterious, powerful aura filled the air. Suddenly, a powerful spiritual shockwave erupted from Sumu, and Grandfather and Lin Yuan quickly channeled their energy to resist. The boy, he must be at a critical stage of fusion, Grandfather said, his eyes showing both concern and anticipation. Lin Yuan stared intently at Sumo, nodding. I hope he succeeds. It will greatly improve our chances against the spirit balances. In the vortex of spiritual energy, Sumu continued to explore the fusion of time-reversing and spatial energy. He guided both energies to his Danshin, making them converge in the spiritual core there. The core glowed brightly, continuously absorbing the fused energy and growing stronger. Finally, time-reversing and spatial energy merged perfectly. Sumu mastered the new fusion method revealed by the runes. He slowly opened his eyes, a flash of colorful light in his gaze. His entire aura had transformed, radiating a powerful and mysterious presence. I did it! Sumo exclaimed, feeling the surging energy within him and gaining a new understanding of his strength. Grandfather and Lin Yuan smiled with relief. Xiaomu, you did it! This power will make the spirit balances think twice, Grandfather said. However, their joy was short-lived. The ruins suddenly trembled violently. In the once calm space, spiritual energy turned chaotic, and cracks of spiritual energy appeared on the surrounding walls. Oh no! It seems we've triggered some mechanism in the ruin, Lin Yuan said, his expression changing. Immediately after, a group of even stronger spirits emerged from the spiritual cracks. These spirits were shrouded in thick black mist, with eerie runes faintly glowing within. Their strength was significantly greater than the previous spirits. Be careful, these spirits are no easy match, Sumu said quickly, forming hand seals and preparing for battle. The spirits let out eerie roars, surging towards Sumu and his companions like a black tide. Sumo struck first, unleashing his newly fused technique, Time Reverse Spatial Shatter Void. He pushed his hands forward, sending a colorful wave of spiritual energy toward the spirits. Wherever the wave passed, space seemed to tear, leaving black cracks. Grandfather waved his staff, casting spirit frost. 1,000 miles of ice and cold spiritual energy instantly filled the space, trying to freeze the spirits. Lin Yun unleashed Spirit Shadow Storm. Final strike, his figure turning into a cyan storm filled with countless sharp spiritual sword shadows that swept toward the spirits. Facing the trio's attacks, the spirits showed no sign of retreat. The black mist around them condensed into black spears, shooting towards Sumo and his companions. The spears were extremely fast, carrying a powerful corrosive force wherever they passed. The air hissed. Sumo quickly cast the evolved Time Reverse Spatial Shield, its surface flickering with runes, blocking the black spears. Grandfather and Lin Yun also cast their defensive spells, joining Sumo in resisting the spirits' assaults. These spirits are stronger than we imagined. We can't fight them head-on. We must find their weakness, Sumo said, resisting the attacks while thinking of a strategy. In a fierce battle, Sumo noticed that, though powerful, the spirits seemed sensitive to a specific frequency of spiritual energy. Whenever his time-reversing energy flowed at a certain rhythm, the spirits' movements were briefly disrupted. Grandfather, Senior Lin, I found these spirits react to time-reversing energy at a specific frequency. We can use this, Sumo shouted. Upon hearing this, Grandfather and Lin Yun immediately adjusted their energy output to match Sumo's rhythm. Sumo cast Time Reverse Energy Disturbance Wave, sending out waves centered on time-reversing energy at that specific frequency. Grandfather cast Spirit Flame Amplified Impact, using the disturbance wave to enhance the flame's power. Lin Yun cast Spirit Wing Tracking Blades, making the spiritual blades home in on the spirit's weaknesses. With their coordination, the spirits' movements were severely restricted, and their attack rhythm was disrupted. Sumo seized the opportunity to cast Enhanced Time Reverse Spatial Slash, a huge, colorful spiritual blade slashing toward the spirits. Infused with powerful time-reversing and spatial energy, the blade cut several spirits in half. The spirits let out angry roars, gathering again. The black mist surged wildly, condensing into a massive black spiritual sphere. Runes flickered on its surface, exuding a powerful destructive aura as it slowly floated toward Sumo and his companions. This attack is extremely powerful. We must join forces to defend, Sumo shouted. The three concentrated all their spiritual energy, unleashing their strongest defenses. Sumo's ultimate time-reverse spatial shield, Grandfather's Spirit Rock Fortress, Peak Form, and Lin Yun's Eternal Spirit Winged Barrier intertwined, forming an unbreakable defensive barrier. The black spiritual sphere slammed into the barrier, erupting with a deafening boom. The entire space trembled, as if on the verge of collapse. Spiritual light flashed, dazzling the eyes. Under the powerful impact, tiny cracks appeared in the trio's defensive barrier. Sumo gritted his teeth, struggling to maintain the shield's stability. Grandfather and Lin Yun also gave their all, continuously pouring energy into the barrier. Don't give up! We can hold on! Sumo encouraged himself. Just as the barrier was about to fail, Sumo suddenly recalled another piece of information from the mysterious artifact's runes. He quickly adjusted the fusion of time-reversing and spatial energy, adding a layer of special spiritual runes to the barrier. These runes glowed mysteriously, resonating with the barrier and gradually neutralizing the black sphere's power. The black sphere's light dimmed and finally dissipated. Seeing their attack broken, the spirits let out绝望的 hisses. Their forms grew faint, gradually vanishing into the air. Finally, it's over, Sumo sighed, his energy nearly exhausted, his body swaying slightly. Grandfather and Lin Yun were equally exhausted, but their eyes were filled with relief. Xiaomu, you did well. If you hadn't thought of that method in time, we would have been in great danger, Grandfather said. Lin Yun nodded. Indeed, Sumu, your control over the fusion of time, reversing and spatial energy grows more skilled. But we mustn't let our guard down. There may be other dangers in the ruin. Sumo agreed. After restoring some energy, the three continued exploring deeper into the ruin. Deeper within, they found an ancient stone door covered in mysterious patterns, 似乎 recounting a distant history. Sumo studied the patterns carefully, trying to find a way to open the door. At that moment, the patterns on the door suddenly lit up, and a beam of light shot from the door, enveloping Sumo. He felt a flash before his eyes and found himself in a mysterious space. This space was filled with an ancient, mysterious aura. The walls were covered in runes and ancient text. In the center stood a massive, mysterious stone tablet, its runes glowing with strange light, as if calling to Sumo. "What is this?" Sumo gasped, feeling the powerful energy contained in the stone tablet. Grandfather and Lin Yuan were also teleported in, equally ed by the sight. "It seems the rune's secrets are hidden in this stone tablet," Lin Yuan said. Sumu walked slowly toward the tablet. As he drew near, the rune's light intensified, and a powerful stream of information flooded his mind. Sumu closed his eyes, striving to absorb it all. In the information stream, Sumu saw the origin and development of time-reversing energy and its connection to the spiritual balance of the entire spirit fantasy realm. It turned out that time-reversing energy was no accident. It emerged as a special power after a major spiritual imbalance in the realm meant to restore balance. However, this power was too strong and difficult to control, so it had long been sealed in the ruin. Sumo also learned that the spirit balancers had been seeking time-reversing energy not to maintain balance, but to exploit its power for their own ulterior motives. So that's it. The spirit balancer's true goal is this. Sumo opened his eyes, anger and resolve flickering in his gaze. "It seems we must stop the spirit balancers, prevent their scheme from succeeding," Grandfather said. Lin Yuan nodded. "Indeed, but we need more information from the tablet to find a way to counter them." The three continued studying the runes on the mysterious tablet, seeking key clues to foil the spirit balancer's plot. However, just then, a commotion echoed from outside the space. Something seemed to be approaching. Sumo and his companions tensed, gripping their weapons, ready to face the unknown challenge. What was approaching? Could they gather enough information from the mysterious tablet to thwart the spirit balancer's immo? All remained uncertain, leaving one anxious for their fate. The story continues, with more excitement to come. Subscribe soon!